On December 19, 2022, Corey Pilot tweeted, "This shit does not look good on paper." This is the Museum of Twitter, the show we talk about the most important tweets in the history of Twitter.com. This tweet has been requested a lot, and I put it off a lot because it's difficult to talk about without saying things that I can't say on this app. But I felt like it was an appropriate time to do it because in this very charged political climate, I think that there are going to be a lot of people who want to tweet or post certain things that they definitely should not. And Corey's tale here, I think, is an instructive cautionary tale. The instruction is very simple. If you tweet something that can be construed as a threat of violence against someone in the federal government, people will show up to your house and investigate it. And the definition of can be construed as is very broad. What Corey did here was a really dumb joke. He tweeted, "If the IRS knocks on my door, I'm answering with this bitch on." And he posted a photo of a vest with fake explosives on it. Now, you and I both know that that's a joke. I think that most feds probably know that that's a joke. But it can be construed as not a joke. So therefore, men with badges showed up at his house with a printed out version of the tweet. And Corey observed in that moment that did not look good on paper. Look, it's not like Corey went to jail for this. I'm sure that it was a brief visit. They probably gave him some warnings, yada yada, and he ended up being fine. But before you tweet something like this, really think to yourself, do I want to see a printed out version of this handed to me by a guy with a badge around his neck? If the answer is no, reconsider. The tiny amount of endorphins you'll get when people like your post joking about violence against someone is not worth the headache you'll have when people knock on your door and say, "Did you tweet this?" I get it. There are a lot of people that you're mad at now. There are a lot of people that you want to wish ill onto. You can wish ill upon people, but please, really think, can this be construed as a violent threat? Because the feds will take it seriously. Because it will be the easiest thing they do all day. So just don't. Corey Pilot is not the only person this has happened to. Stillbirth quote tweeted it saying, "Me when the Secret Service read my tweets out loud to me, and I was like, Because yeah, the Secret Service will also show up at your door. It is a lot of people's job to monitor threats on the internet. I'm a little dubious of this one, but Shar said this does not look good on paper with a recent call from the United States government after they tweeted a threat against every Supreme Court justice. I'm dubious of it just because I don't think that the government would just call you about that. They probably would show up in person. But even still, you should not tweet what Char tweeted. The day I saw this the most is when someone attempted to assassinate Donald Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania, and a lot of people were tweeting their thoughts about it. And Foodsnack quoted Corey's tweet and said, "About to be a lot of you after today." Because I'm positive that I saw tweets from people that day that were definitely construable as threats. And once again, for what? I know I do a show about important tweets, but no tweet is funny enough or important enough to warrant a visit from federal agents. Now, a way that this tweet has been referenced that sometimes people will jokingly Photoshop in their own tweets to imply that feds visited them over them. For example, Dalzio tweeted, "Yeah, this does not look good on paper," with a Photoshopped image where instead of the tweet from Corey, it was this tweet which reads, "Literally so obsessed with keying random cars." Or Yoinky tweeted, "This does not look good on paper," and Photoshopped in a tweet from them that said, "Netflix better change their mind about Mindhunter soon or they're gonna witness a true crime." And I have to say I am sympathetic to Yoinky. I think we all can understand crossing a line when talking about wanting another season of Mindhunter. And a fun example I found is when someone posted this image of a guy being confronted with the people he follows on Instagram and text messages he sent printed out on paper. Miles D. Teasu said, "Close enough, welcome back, this does not look good on paper." I think what this use of it demonstrates is that there just is something funny about printing out something that was posted on the internet as like evidence. Whether it's evidence of cheating or evidence of a possible threat, it just feels much more real when it is printed out on paper with ink. Although the Crayola marker from 1975 does point out, why did they print this on dark mode? It's a waste of ink. Seriously, if we're trying to cut down on government waste, eye roll, maybe we should start printing things in light mode. Or you can just avoid this situation altogether and don't tweet something that might have people show up at your door. Seriously, just don't. Follow me for a new tweet every day. Consider subscribing to my Patreon, where you can get the Museum of Not Twitter, a weekly series where I cover a thing that was big on the internet that did not start on Twitter, and you can vote when I cover on Subscriber Sundays.